here at Jackson Triggs in the southern Okanagan, the largest wine producer in British Columbia, and perhaps a bit of a surprise that they're in my personal top 10. In fact though, it's one wine that they produce, their Grand Estate Shiraz, that actually makes it into the top 10. It's truly something worth checking out. So we went and met up with Derek Kontkanen, Chief Red Winemaker for Jackson Triggs, to find out about this award-winning Sunrock Vineyard.
This Sunrock Vineyard, to me, is probably one of the best sites in the Okanagan Valley. It's very hot, lots of 100 feet of sand, so it's basically hydroponic growing with a giant heat sink behind us.
You don't have any other plants growing underneath the vineyard here? No?
Nothing.
Too bad. And why is it so hot then?
It's just a very hot site. We're in the Soyuz Lake Bench, and also the giant rock that you see behind us, which we've dubbed Sunrock, takes in the heat and re-radiates it at night. That keeps this a couple degrees warmer at night than the rest of the vineyard.
Okay, so this first couple of 100 meters is actually hotter than further down? Further down. If we go down out of the Sunrock block into the Sunrock Cabs and Chardonnays, they're usually a couple degrees cooler than right here. And for Syrah or Shiraz, you really want that high heat, or what's the ideal? For our Shiraz, we want the high heat. Shiraz is very vigorous. We want to, basically we can stress it almost to the brink of collapse, where it won't produce anything, will kill it. And so that's where you can really control the irrigation, and you get, basically we get it so the canes and the shoots, they come, they fall over. If we hit it with a bit of water, they pop back, and so we're just toying with it the whole time, and it helps get those great flavors. And now I see that we're starting to go through veraison. What does that signify when you see the berries turning like that?
I'm going to be busy in a few months.
Harvest is coming.
Harvest is coming. It's a good sign. We are probably a little, for this year, we're probably about a week ahead of normal. It's a good sign to see, you know, good color turning. You know, we're going to get the sugars and flavors and everything we need.
It was already 37 degrees Celsius by 10 a.m. So I asked Derek if we could go and stand in the shade and crack open a bottle of JT's finest. Derek, tell me about this amazing award that you won with the Grand Reserve Shiraz.
We won it in 2006. It was the 2004 Proprietors Grand Reserve Shiraz that won the Rosemount Trophy over at the International Wine Spirits Competition in London, England. So our wine, you know, was going up against some of the top wines around the world.
And what was the reaction here at Jackson Triggs when you found out you'd won this award?
We were very happy. Very excited.
Yeah.
It was a big accomplishment. It's the first one to be won in North America, that trophy. So yeah, it's a good thing to happen for us, and also for the industry as a whole in British Columbia, because it helps just bring attention to the area.
And Canada is not ideally suited to a variety like Shiraz. Any thoughts on that?
I think we are here. You just have to have the right site. This vineyard will get up into the 41, 42, 43 degrees Celsius in the summertime. We are Canada's only desert, so we do have the heat, but you know, we do in the fall get cool, so that's why you have to make sure you get the right site.
What can people expect to find in terms of flavor and structure of this wine when they buy a bottle?
The Grand Reserve Shiraz, you can see by the color, it's very inky, dark. When we pick our Shiraz, we wait till we get a fair amount of shrivel, and then when you go through, when we pick by flavor, you just get pepper. Just slams you, and you're like, okay, now it's time to pick.
Not many people get to see inside the Jackson Triggs winery, so I was very grateful to Derek for taking me inside to show me how this award-winning Shiraz is actually made. So Derek, in terms of winemaking philosophy, what do you do with the Shiraz?
Basically what we try to do is, as you would say, is hands-off approach. We try to, as I explained to people, we're the guardrails on the side of the road. The fruit all starts in the vineyard, as you've probably heard many times before.
So it's Derek the shepherd.
Pretty much, yeah. You just get you make sure you pick the fruit at the optimal time. You bring it in and you ferment it out, and you just watch it, make sure that nothing goes wrong with the ferment, and that you get the best possible quality wine.
Okay. And then after that, into barrel?
Into barrel for secondary fermentation, and it'll sit there for about 18 months in our barrels.
Lots of new or combination?
40% new, 60% older oak.
Okay. French, American?
50-50.
50-50,
Yeah.
okay. And how long can people keep, say, the...
You don't hear that at other wineries.
How long could someone cellar a bottle of your Shiraz?
I would say 5 to 7 years. We're still, we're fairly new. Our first vintage came out in around 2000, 2001 of our Shiraz, and I had a bottle of that the other day, and it's still holding up well.
Still pretty good?
Yeah, still got the tannins, still got the flavor.
Derek, a lot of people think that big wineries only produce fairly ordinary wines and they can't produce top quality. Thoughts on that?
I would say, well, big wineries, they do produce top quality wines, as shown by our Grand Reserve Shiraz that won the Rosemount Trophy. We have the bigger, more resources. I would say we have some great technology. We have our rotary fermenters that you see right here, which the Shiraz came out of. We do have the ability to make larger lots, plus also smaller lots. We'll produce 100 cases of one product at a time also.
In the wine business, there's a saying that big isn't beautiful. Wine drinkers often love to support the smaller family-owned wineries as if they were the underdog. But actually, it's important to have the big wineries too. They're the pioneers in research and development and have the financial muscle to advertise and promote. And as we've seen, they can certainly produce first-class wines too.